Hello everyone, I'm LordMidas and welcome to the last episode of the Kraken band. And you might be wondering why this is the last episode when we didn't really make that decision in the last one, and I will go into a little bit of a detail and tell you why I've made this rather drastic decision. The point is, since the last episode, I've gone ahead and recorded 2 more episodes, and what happens in those episodes is that the Noble House War, which is our first crisis, starts. So right away, when we're going to go ahead and finish this patrol contract here, by the time we come back, the Noble House War will already start. And the problem is that our company here is in a very, very disappointing situation. No way is this company ready to take part in any kind of a Noble House War crisis. We've got people with really bad melee skill overall. I mean, we've got just a couple of people like Egg and Stalker and Vidakin who have some semblance of a decent melee skill, but pretty much everyone else is in a very, very bad shape in terms of melee skill. Plus, we're running pretty bad armor in the company. We're running like leather lamellar armor on a lot of people, patched mail shirt, worn mail shirt, and we're running spears on a lot of people, and this is absolutely unacceptable at this level of the game. And like day 76, we need to be in a much, much better position if we want to go ahead and deal with this crisis. So the problem is, we could go ahead and continue this campaign, but it's going to be very, very boring. Because we won't be taking part in any of the crisis-related contracts, we're just going to go ahead and farm more bandits, even though the crisis goes on and we're not able to enjoy or take part in it or in any kind of an exciting situation. So what I've basically decided is that it would be much better, especially for the viewers. You, as a viewer, you will get quite bored to watch a lot of this tedious stuff that's going to happen here, especially if you just go ahead and farm more bandits. So it's going to be much better that we go ahead and start a new campaign. And in the new campaign, we change things around a little bit, change the way we play the game, and make it more exciting that way. And don't make a lot of the mistakes that we made in this playthrough. So for example, one of the things that we could change is that we could start running a lot of these polearm people right off from the bat. So we could start running more and more polearm people from the beginning of the game, because polearms have been buffed quite a bit, and if we can get more people with this polearm mastery perk and get them like decent polearms like pikes or even pitchforks to begin with, they're gonna do a lot of damage. So that could be something that we could change. Another thing that we could change is definitely get rid of this spearman class that like we've got running this Astral the Best, even though he was a companion, but I think he accomplished pretty much nothing. So he took part in 55 battles and has 32 kills. Pretty bad. I mean, even though, and he's not gonna get better. Like with the spear and with the spear mastery, he's basically dead weight that we're carrying around in the late game. We can't use such a character. So we're gonna not make this mistake next time. And next time we're just gonna have people who are gonna be our primary damage dealers. We're gonna sort them from the beginning. We're gonna sort our good tanks from the beginning, tanks like Ozpin, even though like Ozpin here as well. I mean, if you look at him as a tank, he's okay. But his melee skill is so bad that the only thing he can actually really do in combat is just stand around with the shield wall, and that's it. He can't really hit anything reliably. Ideally, a tank should look something like Oscar here with a talent in melee skill as well, so that you can get the melee skill up to like 70-ish as well. And so that he can also do a little bit of something, you know, in like maybe use a mace to stun people, maybe use axe to cut down people's armor, or a hammer, etc. Something like that. This is pretty bad the way he's running right now. And so that's the whole point. Like, this leather lamellar armor is absolutely unacceptable at this level of the game. So we're gonna basically undo a lot of these mistakes that we've made. But you might be thinking, okay, then if we go ahead and start from the beginning now, all of this time that we put into this playthrough is pretty much wasted, and we're gonna have to start from the beginning and spend all of this time again to get to this point. But one of our subscribers, Transylvanian, has given a very nice suggestion to us, and that could really help us avoid all of that grind. And that basically is that we set the difficulty of the game and the combat difficulty to expert, but we set the economic difficulty to beginner, and also set the starting funds to high. And this way, we forego a lot of the grind that would otherwise happen in the game, and we would get to this position much faster. I mean, it will not really make the game easier. It will. I think it will actually help to make the game more challenging because the combat difficulty will be higher. But at the same time, it will reduce a lot of the grind, and we will be able to level up our people faster, earn a lot more money, and get to this point where we have better armor in the company much faster. And that way, hopefully, by the time the first crisis hits us, we will be in a position to actually go ahead and fight in it. So I must say thank you very much to everybody who followed along with this playthrough, and I'm really sad that we have to end it like this. I mean, the Kraken band was obviously something special, and we were trying to make it very special, but unfortunately we made quite a few mistakes. I mean, of course it's my fault. I made quite a few mistakes in making quite some inefficient builds here. Also choosing some people who were not very efficient in particular role. But the next time we're not gonna make those mistakes, and hopefully it will be a much more challenging, much more rewarding, and much more exciting playthrough. And with that, let's go ahead and retire our company. So let's do that. Are you sure that you want to retire from the company? This will permanently end your campaign and leave the men in charge. Definitely okay. And there it is. Having built the Kraken band to notable name recognition in the realms, the lords would bid against one another for your services. Not only so you'd fight for them, but so they'd know at the very least that they would not have to fight against you. With the crowns rolling in and faith that the company would do well without you, it seemed the proper time to put the sword away and retire to a life outside of war and killing. Unfortunately, such popularity comes at a cost. The company kept falling into wartime contracts and over time was ground down. Brothers started to leave lest they become victim to the next nobleman who thought they knew best how to command the mercenaries. Masonry has its own call, notably a call perfectly cut stones and possibly... What? It's a little bit of a grammar mistake here. Notably a call to perfectly cut stones and impossible towers that defy the eye's ability to even shape them against the skies. Arne the Mason returned to his old trade, and with all the money he'd made with the Kraken band, he started a reputable business, renowned for its ability to construct stone rooms that held the heat during winters and the cool during summers. Wow, he made quite good. Tired of all the fighting, Wiedekind left the quickly declining Kraken band and went out and built himself a cabin in the woods. Back to the woods then, to the spiders I would suppose. Unfortunately, vagabonds attacked. Word has it he was found bleeding out on the floor, surrounded by 6 dead men, and the last man standing, a nervous broken boy, shakily waving a sword at the dying old man. Now that's just how it is for mercenaries. The only thing that's safe about mercenary work is the understanding that not everyone is going to make it out alive. Everyone knows this when they sign on, yourself included. You got lucky, others did not. That's just how it is. You plan to live out the rest of your days as well as you can, not only for yourself, but for those that didn't make it. 248 points, which is really bad. Not really living up to the name of the Kraken band here, I would suppose. But hopefully their successors in the next campaign can go ahead and make up for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start recording the new campaign then over the weekend. So if you have any new suggestions that we should keep in mind for the new campaign, please go ahead and put them down in the description for the description of this video, and I will definitely consider them. And also, if you would like to have any new mercenaries named after you in the new campaign, please put that down also in the description of this video. So I must say thank you very much for following along with this playthrough all this time. It has been a huge commitment on your part, and I've thoroughly enjoyed playing it with you. And I really think that this is the right thing to do right now, that we go ahead and stop this tedious playthrough where we will be just farming bandits for some time. And basically just go ahead and start a new campaign which will be much more exciting and much more challenging. So I will see you then in the next one. Take care of yourself, and bye-bye.